Hey yo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another action figure review for you. So we have been collecting all of the Marvel Legends series X-Men wave with the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut included. So now that we've got all the pieces, we're going to go ahead and build this thing. So there are, 8 figures in this wave? But there are only 7 pieces, so you can skip the Deadpool figure because you don't need that figure to complete your Juggernaut. You'll want that figure anyways, though, so I'm not going to tell you not to pick it up. But you don't need it for this set. You will need all the rest of them, though. So you get one of these pieces in each of the figures, and it comes unassembled, and you simply have to assemble it. So let's go ahead and start. This should be pretty quick. We've got the chest piece here, the waist piece. As you can see, there is a peg hole in the bottom of the chest piece and a peg in the bottom of the waist. Line them up and just snap it together. And it's as simple as that, to be honest with you. As far as the legs go, same thing. There's a peg in the bottom of the waist joint and peg holes in the bottom or top of the legs. Make sure you've got left and right oriented the correct way. You can tell by the bottom of the boots. Line them up and just snap it in place. Grab the other leg, line up the peg in the peg hole, snap it in place. The arms work the same way. You've got a peg on the arms, a peg hole in the side of the chest. Line them up, a little bit of force, and they snap in place. Snap, snap, snap. For the head, it works the same way. There's this big peg on the top of the neck joint, and you just line it up and press down. And voila, we have a completed Juggernaut figure. This thing is pretty solid, pretty heavy, very nice. Some decent detail work. For a figure this size, it works really well. I'm sure they couldn't have gone too much more in depth with it. If you're wanting something more detailed, you'll just have to go to the Marvel Select line. But this one looks pretty amazing. Articulation wise, the head does spin at 360 degrees. And he does have the crazy neck articulation that would allow him to look quite a bit, but the way his shoulders are sculpted, you're not going to get a whole lot of motion out of him actually. So that's about as far down as he can look and as far up as he can look. So yeah, not a whole lot going on there. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder. Standard swivel at the upper bicep. Got the single elbow joint. And standard ball and swivel at the wrist. So still get quite a bit of articulation there. Got the standard ab rock feature in the chest. So you can get quite a bit of range of motion there. You do have a swivel joint at the waist. Standard, more or less, T-hook waist joint at the hips. He can only go about that far, and his legs go up about that far, and back about that far, so a little bit of a limit on the articulation there. You do have a swivel at the top of the thighs here, though you can't swivel it all that much. You do start running into where it clips on the rest of his waist there. Single knee joint and the crazy swivelly rocker thing at the foot, or the ankle. Quite a bit of articulation there. No calf articulation that I can tell. So a little bit limited on the articulation, but still, it's a massive figure. They did great work with this one. It just looks really nice. Very cool. Very fitting for the Juggernaut. As far as scale goes, let's see here. Our shortest character in the wave is Wolverine. So we'll stick him here side by side. And our biggest figure has been Cable. So we'll stick Cable here to the side as well. Mostly lining the feet up. And you can kind of tell it's a pretty good sized figure here. He definitely towers over the biggest figure in the wave. And makes Wolverine here look like a 3 3/4 inch figure. So very nice, very cool job there. Throw those two to the side here. So final verdict here. The head sculpt, he looks really creepy. Don't know how well we can pick up the light here. You can see lots of detail work in the face there. Very creepy looking. The actual helmet itself does not come off of the figure. It's non-removable, which is a shame. It does look like on mine anyways, it's the helmet is a little too far up on his head. It really needs to be down a little bit more for my taste. Mike can work on that a little bit and get it to line up a little bit better, but then you'll notice that there's a little bit of an opening underneath here where the helmet should connect to his shoulders. I'm not really a fan of having that much of a gap underneath, but for what it is, it's pretty nice. It works really well. I'm definitely glad I picked this thing up. It looks really cool. It's a really massive figure. Very cool. Very solid looking figure. So if you don't already have a Juggernaut, this is a great one to pick up. You can definitely give your good guys in the X-Men a run for their money. Pretty cool posing opportunities as well. So yeah. So since you have to get 7 figures for this thing, and they're running what, about $15 a pop, so about $100 I guess is what we're looking at price wise on this thing. And I would probably say go on eBay and pick up the pieces. You can probably get them a lot cheaper than that. So for about $50, it's probably a nice figure. But since you get it for free, if you're getting the rest of the figures, you're better off. And again, there are a lot of good figures in this wave. The only ones I really didn't like too much were the Iceman figure. And Havoc is kind of on the fence, but the rest of the figures in the set definitely need to be picked up anyways. So yeah, go get this thing. Very cool looking. That's it for our review today. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to drop some comments down below. Subscribe to our channel, like us. Feel free to share it with others if you think it's worth sharing. Till next time,